So welcome to Level 2 Orientation for Starfish. In this session, we're going to talk about how you can review student information using Starfish as a faculty or staff person, and it depends on what role you play with a student. We're going to talk about how you can review or add notes to a student file, and also how you can raise or lower flags. And when we say flags, we're talking about early alerts. So traditionally that has come to the Office of Student Affairs as an early alert email to the academic advisors. But now we're going to be doing it through Starfish so that we can all share this information and we can all work together to help students. So what we're going to cover in this session is, first of all, how you log in. You should have heard that from Level 1 orientation, but we'll go over that again. We'll go over the Students tab and how, again, you can view and filter students' information depending on your role. And then we'll also look at one specific student file so you can see exactly how you would raise an early alert for that student, or raise a flag is which they're called, and then also how you can lower that. When the problem is solved, or you've got a solution, or you've got a plan in place, what you can do to lower that flag so that we know that there's been some resolution to the situation. And then there's a lot of other good morsels that will help you with your academic counseling with students, and we'll go into some of that. So on the Starfish screen, so when you've logged in, again I should say, to log into the Starfish webpage, you're going to go to my.woodbury.edu/starfish. I would encourage you to bookmark it. Once you get to that page, there'll be a hot link that goes to the Starfish production site. And so there you can log in with your normal Woodbury campus login and email. Once you do that, you are going to see your dashboard and you'll see your name up in the top right corner. Then I want you to click on your Students tab. On your Students tab, you're going to see several options. It's going to default to all my students, which is what this person's connections are. So in this case, this is one of our faculty who also works in administration at Woodbury. So he has many different roles that he plays. And depending on what he scrolls down to, this will filter these students. So as a dean or department chair, they have access to all students on our campus. So this semester we have about 1185 students who are active on our campus, and you can know that that's what that's referring to because this is the term here. If you needed to go to a different term, of course, you can scroll on there. So he has access to all those students now, but if he wanted to filter his students by the classes that he's teaching, he would scroll down to those sections, and then this list would become a lot shorter. So you go to the Students tab, you click on the first tab here, which is My Students, and then you'll see this connection in the middle in order to filter students. Another way to filter students is to keep it at All My Students and then go over to the Add Filters tab on the right-hand side. When you go there, you're going to have a pop-up box that says Cohorts and Organizations, and you're going to click on that, and depending on what group of students you want to see, whether it's School of Architecture or you want to see international students or something like that, those students will be filtered out and you'll come back to this page with just those students showing. So while you're on this page, you could do a couple of things. This is a place where you can actually take action or send information to students as a group. So if you wanted to send information or take action, one of these features with all of the students, then of course you'd just click the box on the top, which would auto-populate all of these students. Students, you'd put a check here, and then you'd click on the appropriate flag or to-do item here, or a message, or a kudo, or send them a good note, or something like that. Or you could put a note in their file. Just remember that if you do any kind of group messaging or group action, you really can't be very specific about an individual student because they're all going to get the same message. So that would be the trade-off. This is how you actually report early alerts. So this is when you're looking at an individual student like this student here. Gia, when you open her student file, and you open her student file by clicking on her name. So when you click on a student's name, her file will open up, and this is the main toolbar on the top that you'll see. When you're trying to report an early alert, you're going to click on the flag button up here. When you click on that, you're going to need to fill out the requested information in a pop-out box that looks like this. The flags that you have options for are going to show up here. If it's applicable to a particular course, then you would put the course in there. And this is where you would add what your specific concerns are about the student. If the student is struggling, if they haven't done well on a test, or if they're sleeping in class or things like that, all that would be what you would, how you would indicate which flag you would choose. And also, who do you want to see that flag? Do you want the student to know that you're sending the flag, or do you want it to be a concern that you're only speaking with the conduct officer and student affairs about, or something like that? It really just depends. And we have a workflow sheet that shows you all the flags that we have and who sees copies that we will provide on the Starfish website on the portal, so that you don't have to remember all these kinds of things. But Starfish will remind you when you click on a flag here, it'll remind you who has permissions to see this. So that way, that's just another way for you to know what you're sending and who is going to be getting it. So not all flags go to students, but the ones that are instructor specific, the ones about low performance or about attendance in the class, those ones we do want the student involved so that they can be part of the solution as well. So when you complete this, you click on Save, and then the early alert has been activated. At that point, it'll appear in the tracking menu with the students, and the students have a tracking menu on their left-hand, we have a tracking menu on the left-hand side where we open the student's profile. It'll have the date that it was raised, and it'll be viewable only to those who have viewing privileges. So this is what it would look like to open a student's profile that has had some action taken on it. Some flags, some early alerts have been raised, or some action has been taken on it. So again, on the student's profile, when you open up a student's profile, you'll see there's a tracking bar on the left-hand side, and you'll see that in this case, this student has several things that have been happening. There was a behavioral concern that was raised by Rebecca Devereaux on this date. That's active. Active means it has not been resolved. It's still something that needs to be taken care of. You'll see some things where the student raised their hand. The student said that they needed help. And then that was resolved. So someone took care of the situation. The way you find out what happened with a situation, whether it's active or resolved or whatever the situation is you click on the plus sign on the left-hand side. When you click on that, you get it opens up to tell you the notes from the flag, what was the problem, and then also if the flag was resolved, it'll show up there as well. So in this case, the flag was resolved, and there's the comment here that says the flag was cleared by Rebecca Devereaux, and I added a comment that said the student stopped littering, or she knows the problem with that, or whatever. So whatever the behavioral concern was, when the flag is cleared, the person who clears the flag actually adds a note. They add a brief note of what the resolution was, so that the person who raised the flag will get that note and will know that the situation has been resolved. So that way we're all communicating with each other. And it also remains a record on this student's file so that we know the history of things that she's been doing, when she's been asking for help, when she's been complimented, when she's gotten a kudos from somebody, and what it's for. So we can all reinforce that with the student. So that's how you raise a flag and view a student's record as far as issues they might be running into and things like that, or help that they might need. When it's time to close a flag, so let's say you saw that this was active and you wanted to handle it with the student, you were working with the student, you open it up, you see what the notes are, you have the conversation with the student, you feel like the behavior is going to change. At that point, you want to close the flag or lower the flag and kind of close the loop on the early alert. At that point, you just go to where the flag is. So let's go over to this screenshot. You go to where the flag is, you just hover over the flag. This information box will pop open, and this is where you can click on the word clear. When you click on the word clear, another box will open up where you actually put some notes about what the situation was. You know, the student, like I said, stopped littering and that kind of thing. And so that's actually how you would clear a flag. You hit save, and then it becomes resolved. So all these ones that say resolved here, someone went in to an active flag, they hovered over this, they clicked on clear, and it was resolved. And like I said, that information will get shared with the original person who raised the flag, and a record is here. So everybody knows who raised it, everybody knows who cleared it, and we're all working together so that it's not on one person's shoulders to kind of make all the contacts when we really are a team effort. Thank you very much for watching Level 2 orientation. Please stay tuned. We'll have more updates with Starfish. We are actually just launching into Phase 1 right now, and as we move forward, we're going to be customizing the system to help you work with students better and to help give our students what they want as well. So we'll be having those updates as they come. If you need any help, you can always call the Office of Student Affairs, or the academic support personnel can help you, as well as the IT help desk are also helpful with some of the technical issues that you might run into. So stay informed and look forward to more updates from Starfish.